Good morning from Çanakkale, Turkey. We are going to be leaving today and driving to Pergamum and visiting some ancient ruins of a Roman spa. And then we're going to be heading to Izmir, which is the birthplace, the legendary birthplace of Homer. And we will be having lunch with a local Turkish family in their home. And so that is going to be a pretty unique and cool experience, and we'll take you along with us. So hope you enjoy. So we've been driving for a couple hours now, and we stopped for a little rest stop. And at this place where we stopped, it was I don't even know what you would call it, but they had a lot of kind of cool things here. And one of the things that they had was donkey milk serum. So apparently this is supposed to be good for your skin, but donkey milk, never heard of that. If any of you have ever used donkey milk serum, leave a comment below. Tell me what it's good for. They also had olive oil, and like we learned in Greece, olive oil is best served in tin cans, and that's how they sold it here. After Erica and some of the other ladies bought donkey milk serum and olive oil, we were back on our way. And wouldn't you know it, we passed an olive vineyard. Actually, it could be called an olive grove, and Turkey's olive groves are pure magic. With 192 million olive trees, Turkey ranks 4th globally in olive production, harvesting around 1.74 million tons of olives annually. We also passed some of these cool trees on our way to the village where we were going to have lunch with a local family. So today we're taking you to a hidden gem in Turkey's olive country, and it is the charming village of Göbeller. It is nestled among ancient olive groves, and this sleepy village is a slice of authentic Turkish life. And this is where we're going to have our lunch with a local Turkish family. And here is the wonderful lunch that we enjoyed today. They also showed us how they cracked nuts, and you definitely have to have a skilled hand to do this. And here is another option if you don't want to get that hammer too close to your fingers. And here's a picture our group took with our wonderful host. This family's property was amazing, and it had some beautiful trees. We finished lunch, and now we are just walking through the streets of Göbeller. And like I said, it is a charming small village. But eventually, we're making our way back to the bus. And once we got there, the villagers had set up a little impromptu market so that we could buy some clothes or jewelry or different things that were there. And so Erica was doing a little shopping. We're back on the bus now, and we're on our way to head to Pergamum. That's going to be our next stop. But before that, we drove through some beautiful countryside. We are getting close to Pergamum now. Pergamum is the ancient city near the modern-day Pergamum in Izmir, Turkey. And that's what we're driving through right now, is Pergamum. And the ancient ruins of Pergamum are just outside this modern city. So right now we're in Pergamum, Turkey, which in ancient times this city was called Pergamum. It was one of the 7 churches in Revelations that the letters were written to. And this was known as Satan's throne back then. So we're going to tour an old Roman hospital here. And so this is pretty cool. Pergamum from the Book of Revelations. Today on our visit here, we're going to be visiting the Asklepion of Pergamum. This is an ancient healing center in Turkey that was like a spa, hospital, and a temple all rolled into one. And it's where the superstar Dr. Galen worked his magic. And during our visit here, our guide told us some fascinating things about this area.
Roman history. Inverted siphons, they say there's water here, the spring is here, and there's a valley here. When you want to carry the water to here, if you use these inverted siphons, without losing pressure if you
Our guide was named Dalim, and if you're ever in Turkey, I would definitely recommend looking him up. So the Asklepion was dedicated to Asclepius, which is the Greek god of medicine. It was built in the 4th century BC and expanded under the Romans in the 2nd century AD. It is one of the most important medical complexes in antiquity. Just imagine a serene campus where patients came to cure body and mind, surrounded by olive groves and pine forest in the fertile valley. This place blended science, spirituality, and psychology. Priests interpreted dreams, while doctors prescribed diets, exercise, baths, and herbal treatments. Olive oil, likely sourced from nearby groves, was a staple, used in massages, ointments, and even as a base for medicines.
where we came from, the first circular building under those trees is the temple for Zeus and for Asklepios.
This is a sacred spring where patients drank and bathed in mineral-rich water believed to have healing powers. And in the distance you can see the theater. Alright, I think I need to check out these incubation rooms. Well, there isn't much left of them, but they are a couple thousand years old. We are taking a closer look at this theater. It is a 3,500 seat venue that was used for music and drama, and it is still actually pretty well preserved. Here's the sign for the latrines. But no visit to Pergamum would be complete without knowing a little bit about Galen. Galen was the most influential doctor of the ancient world. He was born in Pergamum to a wealthy architect father, and Galen trained in the Asklepion as a teenager before studying in Smyrna, Corinth, and Alexander. But before I tell you a little bit more about Galen, let me tell you about this treatment tunnel. It is a 100-meter underground passage where patients walked to calm their minds and possibly hearing soothing words from the priest who were stationed up above. Anyway, back to Galen. So after he went away to do his studies, he returned to Pergamum around 157 CE as a physician to gladiators, honing his skills before becoming the personal doctor to the Roman emperor like Marcus Aurelius in Rome. And Galen had many accomplishments. He was an anatomy pioneer. Because human autopsies were taboo, Galen dissected animals to map muscles, nerves, and organs. His work on the spine, brain, and circulatory system shaped medicine for 1,500 years. He also used a holistic approach. He believed in balancing the body's 4 humors: blood, phlegm, yellow bile, and black bile, through exercise and diet and environment. He was also a prolific writer. He wrote over 300 works, including on the usefulness of the parts of the body. His texts were medical Bibles in Europe and the Islamic world until the Renaissance. The Asklepion thrived until the 4th century AD, when earthquakes and invasions led to its decline. Today, it's a highlight of Pergamum's UNESCO World Heritage Site, drawing visitors to its peaceful ruins. Its legacy lives on in modern medicines. Galen's ideas influenced doctors around the world. They also have the Temple of Zeus here as well. The Asklepion was definitely more than a hospital. It was a place of hope, healing, and olive oil, and it was a place where Galen became a medical legend. We're heading back to our bus, but there's this little building here that sells a pomegranate juice. And so I just thought the process of getting this pomegranate juice was pretty impressive. They just squeeze the pomegranates right there and you get a cup of juice. And so we watched them do this, and I definitely tried some. It's not my favorite juice, but it was definitely worth trying. And it definitely couldn't have been any fresher. So right now we are back on the bus and we are in Pergamum and we are on our way out and we are going to be heading to Izmir. And all right, so I've woken up now. I might have taken a little nap on the way, but we have arrived in Izmir. Izmir, located on Turkey's western coast along the Aegean Sea, is a city of 4.4 million people.
This park from here all the way to the other side of the city is called Cordon. It's a place for people to come together and socialize. Basketball stadiums, basketball playing places, tennis places.
Izmir definitely feels like a Mediterranean escape with palm lime promenades, lively cafes, and a youthful spirit. That is our hotel up in the distance. It is the Movenpick. All right, we made it to our room, and so let's go ahead and give you a room tour. We already put our bags down here. There's a little desk and workstation, and obviously every hotel room has a bed, and here is the bed we'll be sleeping on tonight. There is a window. This is pretty interesting. There is a window that looks into the tub and shower combo right into the bathroom, and so that's pretty interesting. But the bathroom's nice, has everything you need. Here's a little surprise for you. We are actually in Izmir on October 29th, which is Turkey's Republic Day, or its Independence Day, and they are having a huge celebration. They have flags everywhere, and the Turkish Air Force is performing an air show.
Oh, wow.
We decided to move to a different spot to see the air show a little bit better. There are a ton of people down here enjoying this holiday, and it is an amazing atmosphere. Hey, look at this. We found an outdoor art display or art show. It was pretty neat. They had pictures of different places in Turkey, and Kevin was actually taking pictures of these pictures so that he could have them for later. Pretty neat place. We walked around the downtown area a little bit more that was close to our hotel, but eventually we made it back to the waterfront where the celebration of their Independence Day continued.
Should we go up?
after the fireworks display, we headed down the coast a little bit to a free concert that they were having. This was an outdoor concert and there were still tons of people around. I loved Istanbul, but this day that we just had and this night that we had in Izmir celebrating Turkey's Republic Day or Independence Day with thousands and thousands and thousands of people will be a day I never forget. If you've experienced Independence Day in another country, leave a comment below and let me know how your experience was. So tomorrow we're heading to Ephesus.